Howdy, it's a me. I'm Mario, just a guy. Today, we'll be going over a few stories and some of the things that I learned from them. Now, I will admit some of these may seem like a stretch at first, but just listen in for a little bit. You may get a new point of view. May they be how one kid's show caused me to have a better idea of having the big picture, or if it's some anime that caused my morals to take a nosedive because right and wrong became questionable. Can't forget the Raisin Man making me realize that sometimes you have to be the bad guy, sometimes you have to be a monster, sometimes you have to be the villain. When I was a young one, there are plenty of shows that try to teach you a lesson of be a good person. Sometimes you feel two feelings at the same time, and that's okay. But when it came down to it, one show, one specific show, held a place in my heart. Plenty will know it, plenty love it. It's called Wildcrats. It followed a group of people, including two brothers, the Krat brothers, and their friends, go around the world and learn about different environments, different animals, and everything of that nature. And though it may sound dumb, I'd like to think that their adventures and learning about the natural world kind of helped me understand that sometimes you gotta look at the big picture, not just focus on the small details. Because, like the environments that they were exploring, sometimes trying to work with the small details won't allow you to change the big picture. And rather, you should try to see the big picture before you start trying to deal with the details. Because you could do something that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, all that, and it basically does nothing since you didn't look at it the right way. Just gotta be careful and watch out. On a different note, I would like to talk about how stupid the show is, though. Like, I love it, don't get me wrong, but like, these young adults who are no more than 24, 25 years old. I'm not double checking that, but put it on the screen. But these people manage to make high tech inventions that not only can essentially create a nano suit like thing that can copy any animal that have been mildly researched. It could give humans the ability of those animals. Like, you're telling me all I have to do is get close enough to tap a gorilla, and now I can have strength comparable to the gorilla? You're telling me that I just have to tap a bird and then I can start flying around freely? You're telling me in the unlikely chances that I can catch a cheetah, no one's beating me in a race anymore? And that's not even to mention the fact that they have a giant turtle ship that can easily fly around the world. Who knows how much energy that is? In fact, they probably made that thing on solar energy and it's real effective or something. And that's not even to mention the fact that they have a spaceship, a space shuttle. I don't exactly know why, but there was an episode where they were in space and they had to fly off of the spaceship to get in certain places in the world. Maybe that's how they get around the place. That's still crazy for these, what, fresh out of college people. And hell, I'm pretty sure this guy didn't even go to college with how he be acting. He's just there for the ride. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the stories. Skipping over a few years, I started to become more pessimistic right at the time where I found an anime called Code Geass. This show follows an intelligent guy who uses an alter ego to lead a rebellion against a corrupt monarchy, only to then make himself look like a villain so that they can then kill him to fix the system. Now, granted, the show also had a subplot about powers involving eyes and aliens that I still barely understand to this point. But regardless, the idea that some people make themselves look like bad people or make themselves look like good people to get their goals was revolutionary as a young child. It caused me to better understand that at the end of the day, you don't really know most people. Even if you believe you know someone, or you're almost certain you know that person, there could be a side of them that they've never shown you. Someone who is seen as a saint could be a Satanist, while someone who is seen as an antichrist could be the nicest person there was. At the end of the day, you don't know. So basically, how this affected me was just making me learn that there isn't directly black and white. There isn't right and wrong. There's only gray, with everyone seeing it in a different shade. We live in a gray world, and everyone is colorblind. A while after finishing Code Geass, I started watching superhero movies. I went to see one of the most recent movies called Infinity Wars, and I left the theater with a altered view of the world. The main cause of this was the purple raisin named Thanos, who was on a quest to find the Infinity Stones to erase half of the universe. Now, at first, the idea of erasing half the universe for any reason felt like it was too far. There's no way there's any good way to justify this. So I thought it'd be a one and done, beat the villain, save the world. It's all done. And for a while, it looked like it was gonna happen. But right at the final blow, the deciding factor, he missed. In the words of Thanos himself, he should have gone for the head. This would lead to Thanos erasing half the universe. Roll credits. Now, it was already insane that the heroes lost and half the universe is now blipped away. But what's crazier is how slowly and steadily, after watching this movie, I started to bloom another mindset. The idea that, yeah, killing half the universe, who knows how many, definitely isn't a good option. But when you take a look at it, more resources, more space. Who knows how many places were overpopulated? Space was already so hard to come by. Food was already so hard to come by. Who knows how long water and stuff would still last? And now, take away half of any and everyone who would take the water, take the food, take the space. That's so much more. Food, water, space, everything. Now, killing half the universe is still never the best way to do it, but it's already done. Is it so bad? Now, I know I sound like a villain by saying this, but that's what this taught me. That even though sometimes a good option isn't a right option, that doesn't mean it's a bad option. Sometimes you'll have to be the monster. Sometimes you have to be the villain. If it means saving, who knows? Maybe I'll be a monster. Maybe I'll be the villain. I mean, let me put it like this. Someone you care about, people you care about, are going to die of starvation, die of not getting food, die of not having the space to be who they want to be. You wouldn't want that. You'd want to give them this food, the space, the resources. And hell, who knows how many more people you'll give the food and the resources to. All it takes is half the universe. So, what I learned from this story? Pretty simple. Sometimes you have to be a monster to help the ones you care for. Sometimes you have to be a villain to help the world. So, in simple terms, story 1, you have to see the big picture. You never know if what you're doing will actually help if you're not paying attention to everything. Story 2, at the end of the day, right and wrong is subjective, and we live in a gray world where everyone is colorblind. Story 3, sometimes you have to be a monster to help who you care about. Sometimes you have to be a villain to save the world. But of course, all of these are just my opinions and my beliefs from how these stories have affected me. If you think something different, leave a comment. Like, subscribe, have a good day.